Hello and welcome. If you're a dog owner here in White Plains, then you already know that life with your best friend is one of a kind. Think of this as your go-to guide for finding the right trainer to help you both enjoy every bit of it together. Whether you're navigating a busy sidewalk downtown or just enjoying a quiet moment in a park, having a confident, well-behaved dog just makes everything easier. Good training isn't only about obedience, it's really about building a partnership so you can confidently share your life all over the city. So let's start with the basics. What actually makes for good, modern dog training? It all comes down to a trainer's core philosophy, and of course, their professional background. Today, the science-backed standard is something called positive reinforcement. So instead of focusing on correcting what the dog does wrong, the whole idea is to reward them for making good choices. This approach builds a really strong bond and gets your dog excited to learn, which is exactly what you want for navigating a busy place like this. Okay, so what do all these letters mean? Think of them as a sign of real expertise. See, New York State doesn't require a specific license for trainers, so these certifications are how professionals prove their commitment. It shows they've passed tough exams on things like animal behavior and learning theory, and that they're serious about staying up to date. Seeing these is a very, very good sign. Now for the practical stuff. Once you know what to look for in a person, you've got to find a program that actually fits your dog, your goals, and, of course, your budget. This chart should give you a pretty clear picture of the average training costs around White Plains and the greater Westchester area. As you can see, there's a huge range of options, from group classes all the way to those intensive board and train programs. This should help you get a realistic idea of what to budget for the kind of help you're looking for. So which one is right for you? Well, group classes are just fantastic for socialization and for practicing commands around other dogs, but in a controlled setting. On the other hand, if you're dealing with specific issues at home, like barking at the door or jumping on guests, a private lesson lets a trainer create a plan that's tailored exactly to your dog and your home. All right, you've done your research, you've found a few potential trainers. So what's next? The consultation. This is your chance to interview them and really make sure it's the right fit. So you want to go in prepared. Think of these questions as your toolkit. You really want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement and confirm they can build a plan for your specific goals. And remember, training involves you too. So asking about homework is a great way to know if you'll be successful. And for more complex issues like anxiety or reactivity, making sure they're willing to work with your veterinarian is an absolute must. Great training doesn't just happen in a class. It happens out in the real world. So to be a responsible dog owner in White Plains, you've got to know the local rules and the best places to practice all those new skills. Let's start with a really simple but really important rule. 6 feet. That's the maximum leash length you can have in any public area here in White Plains. That means no retractable leashes when you're out walking around. It's a straightforward rule that's just for everyone's safety. Besides the leash law, there are a few other things to keep in mind. Your dog has to be licensed with the city, and to do that, you'll need proof of a current rabies vaccine. And, especially for those of us in apartments or condos, being mindful of barking is just part of being a good neighbor. Now for the fun part, putting all that training to use. White Plains has some excellent spots that are basically real-world classrooms. You can work on off-leash recall in the safety of Saxon Woods Dog Park, practice some polite leash walking on the trails at Silver Lake, or even test your dog's stay command with all the bustle of Kensico Dam Plaza. At the end of the day, training is an investment in your relationship. Finding the right person to help you is that first big step towards building an amazing life with a dog who can handle anything, from a quiet walk in the neighborhood to a busy afternoon downtown. We wish you the best of luck on your training journey.